Hello, 6th grade. In this video, we're going to go over one-step equation solving with multiplication. Remember, our goal in one-step equation solving is to isolate the variable by doing the inverse operation. If we have a problem, 6x equals 24. Our goal is to isolate the x. I need to do that by doing the inverse operation. 6x means 6 times x. So the inverse of multiplication is going to be division. I'm going to show the division by using the fraction bar. I'm dividing 6 both sides. So 6 divided by 6 on the left-hand side is going to be 1, and 1 times x is x. So I'm left with x on the left-hand side of my equation. The right-hand side of my equation, 24 divided by 6, is going to be 4. Therefore, the value of x is 4. In order for me to see if my value of x is true, I'm going to do a substitution check. My original problem was 6x equals 24. I said the value of x is 4, so I'm going to multiply 6 times 4 and see if both sides of the equations balance out. 6 times 4 is 24 on this side, and that does equal 24, so I am balanced and happy. Let's take a look at another problem. 30 equals 5y. Again, I want to isolate my variable, and my variable is on the right side of the equation. So I'm going to do the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5 in order to keep it balanced. 30 divided by 5 is 6. And this side ends up being y. Now, in order to check my work, I'm going to substitute to see if this statement is true. 30 equals 5 times 6. 30 is on this side. I'm going to simplify 5 times 6 to 30, and my answer is true. Let's take a look at this situation. 1/3 x equals 12. Now, according to what we have to do and isolate the variable, we want to do the inverse operation. So technically, we would be dividing both sides by 1/3. However, if you notice, this is very cumbersome and a little bit of confusing in the math. If I divide by a fraction, I'm really multiplying by its reciprocal. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to skip this step, and we're going to go back and we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So now let's take a look at this. If I multiply by the reciprocal of 1/3, the reciprocal is 3/1. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3/1 in order to keep our equation balanced. On the left side of the equation, 3/1 times 1/3 ends up being 1, and 1 times x will end up being x. On the right side of the equation, 12 times 3/1 will be 36. So the value is 36. In order to check that, we're going to do 1/3 times 36 and make sure that it equals 12. This side simplifies to 12, this side simplifies to 12, and my answer is true. The value of x is 36. Let's take a look at this situation. 3/4 x equals 12. Again, I want to multiply by my reciprocal of 3/4, so I'm going to multiply this side by 4/3, and I'm going to multiply this side by 4/3. Everything on the left side of my equation is going to simplify down to x, and then I'm going to multiply 12 times 4/3. 12 times 4/3 is going to end up being 16. I can do 3 goes into 3 once and into there 4 times because my fraction's over 1, and then 4 times 4 is 16. So to recap one-step equations with multiplication, our goal is to isolate the variable by doing the inverse of multiplication, which is division. If we are multiplying by a fraction, you are going to multiply both sides by the inverse or the reciprocal of the fraction.